today's video, we will create another React application using TypeScript. In the previous one, we created an application in React using JavaScript, and this one will be using a TypeScript. So let's go ahead to our folder explorer. And here I want to have another application with a similar name. This is my folder, so this will be a hello world ts. Okay. Now within this one, I would go to the command prompt. So I typed in cmd from the path, and that opens my command prompt. And here we will use the command to create a new React app. Okay, before going ahead, I think you might have understood how we uh, created React application, like how we did the installation. If you did not, so let me just give you a brief of how we did that. The first thing we need to have on our system is the Node.js. Okay, so we will go to this nodejs.org, and on the home page we will see this download, and you would click on this download button and go through the process to download Node.js. And after having Node.js, you need to check that on your system command prompt that if Node is installed properly or not. And we type in node -v, a space, and -v, that would show up what Node version you have. And then you need to have an npx. Okay. So in order to install the npx, you need to um, check this one out. Install npx on your Google, and you would find the command on the first result. It should be something like npx. Wait, where is that one? I think I missed it here. Okay, so that is npm install gnpx. Okay, so this one, this line of code will have npx installed on your system. All right, so that's the second thing. And after this npx, we need Visual Studio Code, VS Code, because that's where we were doing most of our coding for React. And now after those two things are created, we will create our first React application. To do that, move to the same folder where you want to create that, type in a cmd on the address bar, like here, and then press enter. That will open up the command prompt with the exact path where you need to install, where you need to create the app. And after that, we type in npx create dash react dash app and any app name. So initially I had like first app or my app one. Okay, if I press and enter, this one will create an application with JavaScript. Okay, but if you want to create this with TypeScript, you need to type in my app one and space hyphen hyphen template equals to TypeScript. Okay, so this one will create another application with TypeScript. And if I press enter, it would start building the TypeScript application in React. It will take a few seconds, and then it will load up your application with TypeScript. Okay, now we got the message like creating a new React app in my folder location. It has finished creating the application. You can see these are the These are few messages which it showed up while it was installing the React application, and finally it has finished installing and it created the application. So we want to go to this location and check what it did. So here in Hello World TS, I see that it has created an application with my app one. And if you open that, we would see that there are a couple of folders and few files which relate to React applications. So from here, how would we go to Visual Studio Code and run this program? So from the command prompt, you need to get into the folder. So it created this my app one. Now we would change this directory to cd my app one, and that will open the folder. And from here, we will type in code dot. Okay, so this one will open a Visual Studio Code when you have installed it in your system. If this one does not open up your Visual Studio Code, you get an error message. Do some Google like code space dot did not open Visual Studio Code, and that will guide you through some steps where you need to make some environment settings changes on your computer, and that will bring back code dot to open Visual Studio Code from the command prompt. All right, now it's going to the command Visual Studio Code with a folder location and the application for TypeScript, and you would see that we would have our code ready in there. So now I have my Visual Studio Code along with the files and folders for React. So you can see that all these files with .tsx represent a TypeScript file. If this would have been in JavaScript, they would be JavaScript or JSX. Okay. From this, the index.tsx is our starting point of the application. So here, when you run this application, it will hit this index.tsx, or the landing page, you can say, where it will run the application from. And this is related with app. So what is app? App.tsx is the file which it is calling. And you can see that it has a function which has which returns a div element from the function. Any React application will return a function. A function will return either HTML, JavaScript, or CSS to the output, so which shows that it is a React application. Okay. Now, how do we run this application so that it shows that we have successfully created our React application and it's working well? So, in this terminal, we will go to the terminal, we will add a new terminal, and that will open up the command from here from VS Code, and you would try to run the application from VS Code itself. So while we have this, we will wait a few seconds, and that shows the path of the program where it is. And from here, I type in npm start. Okay. So until we have all these things installed and created, this npm start would not work. So uh, you have to finish all these things and then do this npm start, and that will start building the application and then run it to the browser. So we will wait few seconds here while it's doing the build thing or the compilation thing. If there is no compilation errors, then it will go to the browser and run your application absolutely fine on the browser window. It shows that starting the development server. Okay, a few warning messages. It's picking up the port number localhost 3000, so that's the default port for React application. In future sessions, I will show up how we can change this 3000 port number to a user-defined port number, or you can assign it a port on your own. Okay, so as long as this page is loading, it will come up with a React logo, and that shows that you have successfully created your React application, and everything is well and good. If you do not get that, there might be some errors. You need to run through your code and steps to check that something might have gone wrong, which does not pull up your React application. Okay, so this shows that we have built our React application perfectly fine. Now, if we want to modify this one to our own um, systems. So we will go back to the code and we will make some changes here where inside the header class, I will change this img until any code that's inside the header. Okay, so I'll just simply change this one and I will type in a p/p, and here my first React TypeScript app. Okay, so no spaces here. My Visual Studio Code is running on an autosave mode, so it won't need a saving or a control S. You can also make some changes in the settings and it will do the autosave. So if I simply go back to the browser, I would see that the output has changed to my own message. See this. I did not make any changes or I did not press on the refresh button, and it all did by itself because it's automatically syncing with your browser. And now we will have few more um, changes in the upcoming sessions. So for this video, we will have it until here, and it's just how to load your TypeScript application using the React. Previous one was using JavaScript, and this is using TypeScript. All right. Why we are using TypeScript? Because it is strongly typed. It would have lesser errors compared to JavaScript because we defined the type of objects and variables previously before doing any code work. So we will expect uh, less errors and much user friendly, much advanced than ECMA 6. Okay, so ES6. All right, guys. So until we have our next set of videos, stay tuned, stay connected, and happy coding. Thank you.